to another video in this week's HTML CSS course. So this video is going to be a quick and easy one, hopefully pretty fun as well, but we are going to be working with HTML symbols as well as HTML emojis. So let's jump right in. First, let's take a look here at the slide, and basically what symbols are, they're like the characters that you cannot find on your keyboard. So often these are like the Greek alphabet letters, or sometimes like spades, clubs, things like that. Some euro, different currencies, these are all examples of symbols that you cannot find on your keyboard, unfortunately. So first, let's go ahead and I'm going to take you guys to this link. So this is the link that is going to give us all the information we need for our symbols. For those of you who this is really hard to just copy down the link and type it in your URL, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to W3 Schools. That's the kind of website that we're using, and we are going to search HTML symbols. Then you click enter, and the first one that it gives you, it just says HTML symbols -W3 schools. We're going to click on it, and it's going to take us to the web page that we want. So there's kind of like a rule of thumb when we want to print these symbols onto our web page, and that's basically that we are going to use its name and their number. So if you take a look down here, these are some examples. This is printing out the euro, but when you come look over here, there's this whole chart. So there's these mathematical symbols, Greek symbols, other random things supported by HTML, and what they all have in common is they have a number, and well, they call it an entity. I like to think of it as a name because this is basically its name, right? So we have its name and its number. We'll go down here, name, number, same thing for all these other ones. And so this gives us two ways that we can go ahead and print these onto our web page. We can either use its number to print it out, or we can use its entity or name. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's go to Replit, log into your Replit account, create a new REPL here, choose HTML, CSS, JS, and create your REPL. First thing that I always like to do when this REPL connects, we're going to bring the script tag down, and we're going to put it underneath our body tag so that all of the HTML in the body tag is nice and clean. So like previously we've learned about comments, so I'm going to say HTML symbols, and then I'm going to comment this out just to label my code. It's a great habit to do. Now let's go ahead and choose a symbol that we want to do, and then we can try it out. We can choose a mathematical symbol, a Greek symbol, and another random one as well. So let's do our mathematical symbols first. Why don't we do this upside down triangle, which is called Nabla? I think it's called Nabla. So let's go ahead and try this. As you can see, this is its number 8711, and its name is Nabla. I actually really like that name. And we're going to go ahead and use the name first because that's pretty easy to use. So all you're going to do is, this is a lot easier than you think. You're going to go ahead and do a paragraph tag so that you can write some text. And you can say, here is a weird symbol. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and do its name. So you're going to say and then you're going to put the name. So we're going to say and what was its name? It's called Nabla. So that's all we're going to do. So we're going to do and Nabla. So what we need to do is we need to add a semicolon here. So if we add a semicolon, is it going to work? Aha, so yes, it does. Now, take a look. We now have our upside down weird triangle, and it's called a Nabla. We printed this out using the name. And one really important thing to keep in mind is that you do the and, the name, and then you have to do a semicolon. So that's really important. Unfortunately, I forgot that the first time, but it's okay. It was a great example for you guys to see as well. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use its number. So the number is slightly different from the name. It actually has a hashtag in between. So we have to remember not to forget it. If you want to make sure you remember everything, I would just go ahead and copy this because it includes the semicolon for you as well. So thank you, W3 schools. We're going to do Control C. Let's take it back. And we can do another paragraph tag and say the nabla, this is the number for nabla, is an upside down triangle. There we go. So now when I run my code, you'll see the nabla is an upside down triangle. So we've learned how to print this symbol onto our web page. I'm going to do a couple more pretty fast just so that you guys can see what we're doing here a little bit. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. These are more of the well-known ones. And then zeta is also pretty well-known. I haven't heard of this one, but it looks like just an E. Doesn't look very special to me, but I personally think I like gamma just because I like the name and it looks like a little hook. So let's go ahead and do gamma. We're going to use the name and the symbol again. So P, I'm going to go kind of fast because this is going to be a quick one and we kind of essentially know what we're doing now. A Greek letter is and, because you're using the name, gamma, semicolon. So now when I run my code, you'll see a Greek letter is, and then gamma. So next what we're going to do is we are going to say, well, first we need to do a paragraph tag to kind of set everything up. Hopefully by now you guys are used to using these weird angle brackets. It does get kind of annoying sometimes, but all needed. I'm going to copy this number over here along with the and, the hashtag, and the semicolon. I'm going to bring it back in and say, this means gamma. So run your code and we'll see that this gamma means gamma. And so for those of you who don't really recognize this or what gamma means, essentially we use it a lot in math. I know I've used it in math before. It kind of just takes the place as a variable, honestly. So just think of it as a pretty fancy variable. I'm going to do one last thing with symbols, and we are going to work on the drum roll. I'm deciding. Let's do the trademark, because that just looks pretty cool to me. It's like a little TM. So I'm going to come over here and another symbol. And I'm going to say and now if this one isn't and trademark, it's and trade, and then you do your semicolon. Bring it back down for another P tag, and I need to go back and look at the hexadecimal number, or is the hexadecimal? Nope, it's just a number. So, copy all of this, Control C, bring it back down. Is in a lot of company logos. I've noticed that a lot. So if I run my code, you'll see another symbol is trademark. Trademark is in a lot of company logos. So as you guys can see, in this very first section, we've learned how to print all sorts of different symbols using their name and their number. All right, perfect. So moving on, we are going to work with emojis. So usually this one is always a favorite. Everybody loves printing emojis, and I am a pretty big fan of emojis too. I think they express a lot of my emotions sometimes. So something that's different about emojis is that they have two ways, but unlike the first way, they have, unlike symbols, it's decimal or hexadecimal. So instead of name and number, we have decimal and hexadecimal. So let's go ahead, I'm looking down here, and let's go ahead and do visit this website. So I'm actually going to go ahead and search this up because I want to see how you can find it on your own. So do W3 schools HTML emojis. Perfect. So the HTML emoji reference W3 schools. This is the one we're looking for. I believe it's the one we're looking for. Yes, it is. So take a look here, guys, and you will notice that it gives you a decimal, a hexadecimal, and a picture of what it looks like. Now, what I don't like as much is that for your decimal and hexadecimal for emojis, you need to have your and, your hashtag, and your semicolon as well, but this table here doesn't exactly give that to you. So it just gives you the 4-letter number or the hexadecimal. It doesn't give you the and, hashtag, and semicolon, unfortunately. Just kind of sad because that was a big help for me. But scroll down and you'll see there are so many options to choose from. All of these I think I've seen on my phone before, so quite a few. I'm going to stop scrolling now because there's too many. But if you're a big fan of these emojis, go ahead and go crazy. Look through them all you want. I'm going to go ahead and do some practice with them. I'm going to comment this out. And another comment that just says, oopsies, HTML emojis. Perfect. So, like I said before, I use emojis to convey my emotion. So let's just take a look at this. You can put some text as well as the emoji, or you can just resize your emoji as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to put a bigger version of this emoji that we're going to choose. So let's see. Today was kind of just like a normal day. It was pretty sunny outside, so why don't I go ahead and find the sun emoji? Kind of fitting because my name is Sunny. It's coming right along. Perfect. Aha, we have a smiling sun, just like me, and I'm wearing yellow. How coincidental. Okay, so I'm going to use this decimal number first. So I'm going to copy this really fast, bring it back to a Replit, and do our P tag. And then I'm just going to do and hashtag this number and then semicolon. If you run your code, you'll see it gives you your tiny, tiny, tiny sun, but I want it to be just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to bring it here. And just like we've learned inline styling before, we're going to do style is equal to font size : 30 pixels. So now when I run my code, you'll notice that this has gotten slightly bigger. Let's make it 100 and let's see what goes on there. Wow, that is quite a big sun. So we've made our emoji pretty big. So by using the font size during the inline styling, you can change the size of your emoji. Now we're going to go ahead and write some more emojis in sentences. So I'm going to say, my name is Sunny. I love to play sports. In my free time, I love to sleep. Wait, no, that's not exactly a good thing to say. I love to code and read, and my favorite foods are, I'm a big fan of smoothies right now, and any junk food. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to eat much junk food, but this is my autobiography, guys. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so now in between, I'm going to add some emojis. So my name is Sunny. Let's go back and add an emoji. Well, technically, this was the only emoji. Actually, let's be kind of different. Since I said my name was Sunny, I'm going to put a cloud instead, just to kind of mix things up a little bit, right? Or a cloud or a rainy symbol. Let's do this one, okay? And this time I'm going to use its hexadecimal number. So this one on the right is going to be your hexadecimal number. So hex, and this is decimal. So let's go back and find it again. Aha, so I'm going to copy this, Control C, run my code again. Aha. So another thing to keep in mind, attention to detail, is that when you're using your hexadecimal number, you need an X over here. So I guess I forgot that, but when I took a look at this, if you notice, usually your hexadecimal doesn't start with an X, right? This looks something more like a hexadecimal number. So when I noticed that, I was like, maybe I need to add an X in between, right? So just another thing to keep in mind, when you're using your hexadecimal number, be sure to put your X in front of the hexadecimal. I'm kind of confused now. I thought this stuff was going to be pretty easy, and I thought we could just copy paste from the chart, but it looks like we can't. It's okay. I love to play sports. Let's go back and find a sports emoji. There's only a soccer ball. I mean, I'm a little offended. Where did the lacrosse emoji go? I know they made one. I just don't know where it went. So let's go ahead and take the soccer one because I do play soccer as well. I'm going to take the decimal number, which means that we do not need to put the X, and hashtag, bring in that decimal number and semicolon. Run your code and you'll see I love to play sports with the soccer ball. In my free time, I love to code and I love to read. Let's find an emoji for that. Do you guys see any emoji that's fit for this reading or coding idea? There's so many emojis to choose from. Okay, so this usually looks like the symbol for like the internet, in my opinion, kind of like the web, I guess. So I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I'm going to take this because I read a lot of novels online, and I also, coding is usually online as well. I'm going to take this hexadecimal number. So Control C. Now, remember last time what we did wrong? We have to do and, hashtag, don't forget the X, and then this hexadecimal number. Again, as to why we have to do this, I'm not quite sure. This is just the coding standard. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. So now if I run my code, you'll notice that this emoji has popped up. My favorite food are smoothies, and after smoothies, let's do some food. I know I spotted some food down here. Aha. So there's a bunch of fruits. I always put bananas. And sometimes I do a lot of green smoothies. My opinion, the greener the smoothies are, the more yummy they are. That's my unpopular opinion, but I'm going to put a banana and a strawberry. So strawberry banana smoothies are the best. So let's take the decimal number for this emoji and hashtag. Since it's a decimal, we don't need an X, just the semicolon and stuff like that. Drag this out a bit, and then I'm going to add in the strawberry. So this time I'm going to take the hexadecimal. So I'm going to do and hashtag X and then our number here. Finally, we're going to look for one for junk food. Ooh, there's a lot of junk food down here. One of the staple foods in our house are noodles. My mom has been making noodles for 13 years in our house every weekend, every morning for breakfast. And don't tell her I said this, but they taste the exact same every day. So we're going to take this decimal number, copy it over here. Then we're going to do and hashtag and paste it with a semicolon behind it. Now let's run our final product and see. Perfect. So this is looking good. My name is Sunny with the little cloud. That looks kind of weird. I love to play sports, soccer ball. In my free time, I love to code and read, internet. My favorite foods are smoothies, banana and strawberry, and any junk food, a bowl of noodles. Okay, so guys, that was our video. We learned about symbols and emojis. Symbols use the name and the number, and you have to have a semicolon after it. Something that I forgot a couple of things this video actually, but it's all good. We need to use the semicolon, and for emojis, we have a decimal and a hexadecimal number. For the decimal, we just need the and, the hashtag, and then the semicolon, but for our hexadecimal, we need and, hashtag, an X, and then a semicolon. So that was it for this video, guys. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.